Blew up.
Hello, greetings. Welcome to this segment of Let's Build on this nice Thursday evening out here.
It is Thursday, right?
Yep, out here in Germany. The topic of discussion today is expanded vision, and we'll just let you guys trickle on in. What's up, Andrea, Marissa in the house, Kat, what's going on, Liz, Gwen, Jamie, Melissa, what's up, Mel? Amazing Stephanie in the house. He got issues with his foot over here. He got to trim these. You see this? Look at these toes, man.
Yeah.
Pam, what's up, Pam? That's just nasty right there. Usayo. All right. And
Liz.
Already it's popping up in here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start off with a song and put the link into the comment section a little later. And we'll start off with a song called Expansion. And you can check it on the Universal Brothers page on SoundCloud. So let's roll. These are nice.
Big up the super villain, you know? 144,000. Be cool. Just enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? You already went. With the feeling zone, you already went. Universal Brothers and Sisters, now we get down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. DJ cutting records. Fingerprints all on his beds. Heaven in the house, touched by an angel, you're dead. Life forces never force to let it vibe you. Find me, you get a heart. So you spark and burn it down. Like a Dow Jones. Going home quick. Temporary government reset. Respect this level to this dialect. Fight out with active reaching behind. All leashes. Only your home run. Homemade. Portable upper deck. Stack from the back of the car. Blindfolds, eye closed, MVP pack, sticker reflecting, still in the plastic tray, value non-measurable. Conservative powder, bubble gum, edible. Yo, one more year, about to let it loose. Crystal body suit, that turbo boost to the stars, like a gym. Used to play the corners hanging, now I'm focused on this formal training. You know what I'm saying? Jump, like sparking, creative parent, interstellar craftsman, that keeps it coming. Over drumming, ain't no jumping down the eternal. All knowing ain't no running blues. You got teaching, preaching to the choir, reverend on the free brothers, reiterating the Star Nation, much patience in the presence. 11-11. Much patience in the present. Yeah. Activation. 11-11. Yeah. You already landed. You know what I'm saying? We already landed. I joined that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We already landed. Yeah. To the stars, baby. Yeah.
All right, that was Expansion on the Universal Brothers SoundCloud page. I can go check that out. And Commander will join us here momentarily. He'll be in the house. You guys want to say anything? What's up?
Just peace, love.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
What y'all doing, man?
What's up with y'all? Anything new?
Yeah, for real. What's
It's
new?
getting flooded out there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for real, huh?
Y'all
Hope y'all know how to
stay
swim.
warm, man. Y'all try to stay warm.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like this stuff.
And yeah, so the birthday party was nice that my brothers threw for me over here at the Raw. It was absolutely a great experience. Had my main man Triple A showing us how to play Texas Hold'em.
It was a
pretty
good
fun.
party, by the way.
It was fun.
Actually, better than going out.
Yeah, way
It
better.
was way better going out.
Yeah, he would be able to tell you because he went out and checked it out. It wasn't that good. He came back.
We stayed over here, play a little poker.
To answer
Not for real money.
Sylvia's question,
Sylvia,
why
you got a
is a
question?
woman always at the back? She chooses to be back there hiding.
Yeah, she's the most shyest person I've ever known.
No, she's not, man. Y'all go check
Look
out
at
her
her,
photos.
look at her. She's already shy. Look.
See, Carrie said you got a hairdo.
Huh? You like it? Thanks, Carrie.
Hairdo. I think it's a haircut.
What about his face? Like his facial, hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Hairdo. Like he went to the salon to get that done or something.
to the salon. Yeah. Got me a massage too. Go wait. All right.
Anybody any shots? Stay. Peace, Valerie. Peace, Andrea.
Let's take a couple deep breaths. So once again, another beautiful opportunity for us to connect in this now moment. Please forgive the voice. I am currently recovering from a little sniffles. It's almost over. All righty. Thank you once again for joining us. The connection is grand. I feel a stream of very beautiful open energy amongst those here present and connecting with you and who we are, the angelic realms of the Galactic Council of the Galactic Federation of Light, who I am as your Commander Ashtar. Always a great pleasure and honor to connect with you all in service to the divine here in this now moment. Big shout out to Valerie. I will respond to your message momentarily. We were supposed to have an interview a couple of days ago. However, we ran into a little bit of technical difficulty, which is, for the most part expected when you're dealing with some of these new platforms of media, blog, talk, radio. I've had quite a few different interviews and actually hosted a temporary show on Blog Talk Radio through an engineer in Atlanta, which was short-lived. The nature of the platform is a little tricky. In actuality, sometimes you may even need an engineer to work the boards when you're dealing with interviews. So neither here nor there. We will reschedule that interview for the early part of February. However, I do intend to extend a great level of gratitude to Valerie for your openness and willingness to connect with us to share the nature of this divine transition with those within your realm of influence. Of course, it's always a great honor and pleasure to be of service here in expressing the nature of this first contact transition that we are experiencing now and connecting with humanity. So being that said, we will reschedule that interview. Of course, we got a semi-full house tonight. AAA, God Amun Ra, C's is definitely here with us, clean cut and ready to hold it down. Yes, and of course, all the beautiful faces that I see here and connecting with us. Today's discussion, of course, is expanded vision, and we will have a great discussion today. So, without further ado, let us all prepare for our exercise so we can connect. The small disclosure states that in order for us to connect with you and who we are, the angelic realms, expressing ourselves and being a group conscious through this physical vehicle, through this platform of digital communication, through your media platforms. This is but 20% of the nature of our communications, where the true source and foundation of our communication remains intuitive in connecting with your heart space, where enabling us to do that is in your ability to be open to the nature of these expressions. The depth of these communications remains in the silence and your ability to feel within you through your own intuition, and not necessarily in the words being expressed through this physical vehicle. So in order for us to establish an even clearer connection, more potent space of transmission, we require that all open themselves up and relax the physical senses to clear all the energies that were held heretofore, to allow for a space of silence, to connect with your own heart space so the communication is clear and direct from who we are as your guardian. So 60 seconds, we only ask that you relax all expectations, your mental activity, all that is around you beyond judgment, and be still for the 60-second period so we can connect. So, a couple deep breaths in. And we will be silent. Allow yourself to gently embrace the nature of your extremities, your toes, wiggling your fingers, allowing your lungs to return to their normal capacity of intake. Gently begin to open your eyes once again. Slowly. Such an honor it is to be alive, such a blessing to be present, such a miracle to exist in this dimension as an awakened soul in divine service to the one we are. A great honor and pleasure amongst all of you in the nature of our talk today being expanded vision. And what does that mean? The nature of presence allows us to embrace the wisdom that is beyond meaning, beyond contextual definition, a level of existence that is within the frequency of infinite intelligence where there is only acceptance of this now moment. Thank you, sir. So I'd like to start today's talk off with a story. If you will, open your hearts and enjoy. Metaphorically, as all stories start, one day, the greatest storyteller there ever was created a story, created a path of experience, a movie, if you will, an unfoldment of wonder and magic that would exist in the records of existence forever. Let's go back a little bit. It is opening night, and the curtains open. The story begins. There is silence. There is darkness. And the eyes of our main character opens. There's light. There's color. There's sounds. There's feelings. The feelings are of the most dramatic stimuli ever experienced by an incarnate. There is a conscious sense of self. However, there's still a bit of an amnesia of what was. You are alive. Experiencing the nature of limitation within this holographic experience. The nature of this story is your own. It is you who has come to this planet of some of the most dense energies in this sector of space to experience that which is a human form. Amongst the expansion of such an experience, there is a story. Infancy to being a toddler, to early childhood, all the way into adolescence. There's still a sense of curiosity of the experience itself amongst these stages, these realizations that are continually unfolding. Where am I? The backdrop of all this theatrics, of all these theatrics, this unfoldment, this story, if you will, is a indescribable but vivid sense of familiarity with fantasy, rather than the limitations that we are becoming accustomed to. We've all been there. We know this story. The familiarity with fantasy over the limitation that we are becoming accustomed to within this experience, this movie. We begin to find a sense of uniqueness in our ways of being. Seeing intricate synchronicities and all that has taken place as we develop our cognitive sense of being, the mind identity, if you will, the ability to analyze where we are as we work and play amongst the mind identity. We have the ability to reflect and recollect that which has taken place as of the now moment within the linear framework, if you will. And as we reflect, we experience we replay the connections, the friends, the people, the paths of experience, the unfathomable happenstance, the coincidences that we assume are taking place, but are also abundant amongst our experience. And we begin to entertain questions. One of the deepest questions, one of the most entertained questions amongst our main character, if you will, is, what is this all about? What is this story all about? What is going on? Why am I experiencing this? It is this question being entertained so much by those who realize from a space of intense sensitivity or wisdom, as some can recognize. It is with these questions, or this question itself, that is at the foundation of the intent. As we ask this question, there's an intent that is there. What is all of this? What am I doing here? Why is all of this happening? This is a clear intention. This intention opens doors. This intention opens doors to a path most expanded. Because amongst all of the theatrics, once again, of the physical illusion, there is a fire deep down within ourselves that knows this is not all there is. This is but the superficial layer of something much more vast and deeper than what is being presented. There is deep wisdom in the innocence and openness of a child that is willing to continue to entertain this line of questioning. And as this door opens and this path expands, the path expands even more as we embrace the expansion of the path of experiences beyond the mind's judgments. As we cultivate these intentions, things happen that are not necessarily within the confines of logical explanation. And it is within our level of wisdom that we are able to embrace and continue to observe these experiences from a place of openness, beyond attempting to label them as coincidences and things that just so happen to happen. We start to recognize that these are very personal experiences that are being shown to us based on the intent of us asking the question, what is all of this? Now, as the character moves deeper into the story, there's still a recognition of the conventional world. There's still a recognition of the 3D hologram, the illusion, the social standards, the things that humanity has described or placed within the normal box. We still embrace it because, at this level, there's quite a bit of programming that we still have yet to realize and unravel. The programming of judgment and things that we feel are responsible in the eyes of others. There's still this programming that that's still necessary for us to heal. So we don't totally deviate from the path itself or the conventional path itself. So there is an exploration of conventionality. In other words, we keep our job. We continue to entertain our dreams of being a great baseball player or a politician or a doctor wanting to heal or intending to heal. We still embrace these intentions. This is the exploration of the conventional path that we've designed based off of our experiences earlier in the movie as we adjust to the limitations of this experience. However, and there's still a lot of you on this or in this phase of the experience. To be quite frank, most of you are still within this phase of the experience. There is a play or exploration of the conventional nature of the construct. However, a deep interest, a deep intent to embrace this side of the track. And all is well, and all is exactly how it is supposed to be. There is no error in the decisions that are being made up to this point. There is only perfection and infinite intelligence. However, deep down within the heart that knows, there is still the pull of something intangible. There is still the pull of something beyond explanation. This pull grows stronger every day. So here is a milestone in the story. There are those who are embarking on this journey into the unknown, there are those who are not ready. However, this threshold requires a truly courageous decision to be made beyond all doubt. And this is where the story truly begins. And in truth, this is the beginning of the hero's journey. I refer to the hero's journey because it was one of the diagrams that was shown to me very early in the stages of awakening. And when reviewing the nature of this diagram, I recognize very deep parallels in the nature of my experience. The unknown comes with rejection, discrimination, judgment, rapid change, and the climax being the abyss of the underworld. The abyss is not it's not a challenge based on the journeyman or woman's sense or state of being. It is in actuality a revelation. Because at this point, we recognize the underlying theme of the movie. And from this revelation, there is transformation. Transformation, atonement, an alignment, if you will, and the return of an awakened sense of being on a path of divine service. So, this is a story. Many of you have experienced these deep, strenuous changes, this transformation. There are many of you still within the abyss. There are many of you that have yet made the decision, the courageous decision of moving into this underworld of experience. The journey is vast, and all are experiencing the journey as designed by the author prior to the curtain opening, prior to opening night. It is your design. Your return, the transformation and atonement, and the return, if you will, the return from the abyss, the trip into the darkness, the unseen, the path of divinity, and experiencing the wonders of that which is underneath the surface. It comes with a sense of being that is much more sensitive, and it recognizes the validity of the divine truth and the illusion as a whole. This is not to say there's a separation of the illusion from that which is the etherics or the ascended realm. They all work together. This is bringing things into full circle as you return. However, your return comes with an expanded sense of vision. And this is what we speak about today. This expanded vision is about your reconciliation with the unseen that is infinite intelligence, expressing itself in the seen. Now, as I experienced this trip into the underworld, I had no choice but to recognize the number patterns that were being shown. One of the reasons being was that the experiences that were taking place were so unexplainable, so unfathomable, that the number patterns became confirmation that things were in order, that there were no mistakes in my experiences. This wasn't just happening because of some decisions that I made. I was a victim, or random events where I was subjected to something as a victim, or whatever the case may be. It was order. There was movement. There was order. And as I embraced a level of sensitivity, balance, presence, and wisdom within myself, I recognized these numbers were communications that there was alignment, there was order in the chaos that apparently I was experiencing, the chaos that was perceived by the logical mind of the teardown, the things that were falling apart around me, having order and being all intelligent. There was a purpose behind these things, and it wasn't random or happenstance. The communications of these number patterns. Also, along with the number patterns, the increasing level of sensitivity that I continue to experience. With this sensitivity came the intelligence in all that I was seeing. I didn't look at a newspaper headline by mistake. I didn't see a billboard and the writing on that billboard by mistake. I didn't walk into a store and the song that was playing in the store was speaking directly to me and my experience. It took a deep level of sensitivity, wisdom, presence, and trust to trust myself and my experience, all of these things that were unfolding before me. The conventional life of scholastic excellence and corporate achievement came to a sudden halt as I realized the destructive nature of such an enslaved cycle. I felt let down by the dream that was sold to me on the backs of those that were continuously dying around the world based on the efforts and work that I was doing, which put great wealth in my bank account and in my wallet. However, as a sensitive, spiritually mature soul, I could not continue to participate in such activity. However, once again, we all are on the path experiencing that which is necessary for our own expansion based on free will. These decisions were necessary to be made based on that which I recognized as the truth within myself. Expanded vision comes with the sensitivity of self-realization and recognizing that you're always safe. You're always doing what is exactly necessary for you to do in this now moment. At this point, I recognize that not only were the things that I was seeing at that present moment perfect and calculated beyond logical analysis or comprehension, I had to also recognize that this entire story, from the time that the curtains opened on opening night in that hospital, in Richmond Memorial Hospital, that this all was a movie designed most perfectly by who I am as the divine. All of the characters, all of the friends, all of the paths of experience, the day my mother picked me up from the recreation center and told me to not follow the crowd and move to the beat of my own drum. The time I got beat up in third grade, the first girl I kissed at 13, the time I arrived here in Germany, not wanting to be here. All of the experiences that came heretofore were absolutely perfect and in no way coincidence, mistake, error, or accident. These are but labels or terms that the ego mind would like to use as a convenient way to not address its own ignorance. With spiritual maturity, you recognize when it is necessary to reconcile within yourself the level of honesty that is necessary within to allow yourself to come to terms with the nature of this now moment. And now there is perfection. And with this perfection is the ability to move forward from a space of clarity, from a space of purpose, and knowing that this is not random and all that I'm experiencing is of my own design. And recognizing that there is order and there is movement. However, movement remains a free will decision. Order remains divinely aligned with nature. Within nature, there's order. Within movement, there is free will. My ability to align my free will with the nature of nature and recognizing who I am as nature, better able to reflect that which I am here to experience as the divine, as an expression of the Creator. Now, some will attempt to align expanded vision with the third eye or some other form of stimuli within the physical. However, it's necessary for us to recognize that this vision, this expanded sense of vision, the nature of expanded vision in itself is beyond vision itself. It is expanded, where it is beyond what is being seen. The power, the insight of a third eye vision is not necessarily the opening of a chakra and the ability to see things beyond sight, which is somehow amalgamated to the work or powers of a superhero. And in actuality, I would be degrading the nature of who you are by describing you as a hero. You're much more than that. You are the story itself. You are the story of all stories. You are the expression of the Creator. So, with the nature of expanded vision, what we speak on today, for those of you that have chosen this path of expansion, it is about your ability to be sensitive to the nature of all that is appearing before you and being present. Your presence is an expression of your intelligence, an expression of your wisdom, your ability to be here in this now moment where you recognize that there are no mistakes, there are no coincidences. Synchronicity is life itself. There's nothing that is not synchronistic to those that have an expanded sense of vision. We recognize that all is in divine order and all is synchronistic. The more present we are in this now moment, the more sensitive we are to the experience itself and being our own creation, life itself. The sun shines for you every morning. The moon shines for you every night. The characters of the movie appear for you to embrace every day. The opportunities to serve appear for you every day. The number patterns are but indications of our presence with you as you continue to move through these paths of experiences. We exist within you and we exist around you as we observe you experiencing yourself and the decisions that you make based on your current level of spiritual maturity. We continue to exist within and around you in this now moment as your angelic guardians. There is never not a time when we are not communicating with you. There is never not a time when we are not observing that which is unfolding. It is with your level of sensitivity that you embrace this expanded sense of vision and realizing the significance of this now moment and being the only true reality there is and the most important experience that you are having in your life. And we're not speaking of something in the past or in the future. We're speaking of right now. This is the most important moment in your life. There is never not synchronicity. So with that being said, this is the nature of expanded vision. Your wisdom to be present, all-knowing, all-powerful, and recognizing the nature of who you are as the star of the show. There is no person more important in your life than you. And with your level of spiritual maturity, you have the vision to appreciate all that is this now moment. It is this level of sensitivity, this level of wisdom, where you truly appreciate your ability to see. It was expressed earlier that those souls who are wise enough appreciate their ability to see, where those who take such a gift for granted are preoccupied with complaining about the things that they do see. When you truly appreciate your ability to see, you're not complaining about the things that you do see. You can't do both at the same time. This is the nature of wisdom, expanded vision, and realizing the nature of the gift of life, the miracle of existence itself. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. This is Les Bill, and today we speak on the nature of expanded vision. I will pass the mic over to our maestro overseas, and he will bring up another song selection for you today. And we'll be back with our open discussion here at The Rock. That's right, Kat. Welcome to The Rock.
Welcome to The Rock.
And we'll talk after this. Thank you for joining us. Overseas.
Yeah. So, thank you for everyone who is participating with building and continuing to build with us here in the Let's Build community. And especially a lot of new folks coming in. Thank you all for becoming part of the community. And for some of you that love to express yourself, you are free to do so on this channel. So continue to do so. There is no right, there is no wrong. It's all unconditional love. So if you have any suggestions or whatever, you can put it up there too. We're open for everything. The song I'm going to share right now is called Ascended Leadership, featuring Bob Proctor. And you can find this on the Universal Brothers SoundCloud page.
Look in the mirror. What you see reflecting back from the mirror is merely an instrument you are living in and using while you experience life in this particular dimension.
Serious.
You and I and every other person are individualized expressions of one universal mind.
Yeah. Black video test, let's do it, baby. Yo, so wait for the new hurt, man. Already know me, man. Hold on, let's go, y'all. Come on, baby. Let's get it clean. So many feet. Get this movie in the day. And you can say speaking to me. The focus of a straight shot. I'm cool with the red snap vibe. Creator of it all, you will never lose. Using these technical weapons to transmute and get the party straight forward. Come on, bro. Am I too ready to go? I'm typing every day and I saving on my flow. Really shook, showing out on them. Connecting the grid on my Facebook forum. You never wreck the efforts in the comment section. I run a bell so you address the message. Get your captain. It's all language. The whole community is waiting for your awakening. Man, y'all step up to the mic. Put down the score, man. You know what it is. Home universe got your back. Y'all, it's that big show. Step up to the mic, kid. Put it down the score, man. You know what it is. Home universe, y'all got your back. Yo, it's that big show, man. Could you scared? Man, could you scared? Man, could you scared? Better smile up in here, yo. It's the Ace of Mars. I pull a solo card out when I'm in a jam. It's the place stage is all trash. I get the instrumentals with a city boat jack with something to the angels. Go ahead and call me crazy. I'm a leader for the people who done suffered enough. Yo, Game paradise when I'm on the mic. Come to my show, everybody gon' eat. Everybody gon' speak to what the vibe that I rock when I'm on the beat. Like frequency melody, baby, basically forever getting vaccines. One force, turn my hat to the back, cause it's like that, it's like that.
No condition may be using your behavior. Narrow conditions sure can be things. Great feelings to let it hold you back. You are in truth a wonderful individualized expression of an infinite power. We are all spiritual beings. There is no one person who has more power, more knowledge, or access to greater resources than any other person. Here's a point that you should remember. Your heart will never truly desire to do something you are not capable of doing. It is as if God has placed within each of us a genetic government which prevents us from wanting to do something beyond our own level of awareness or capability. The person working as a speaker in a factory will think it would be neat to travel in a spaceship to the moon. All you will ever require for fulfillment in life is awareness.
You heard? That's classic right there.
Word, kiss her like a queen.
You dig? That's that super debunk. Super debunk. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome back to Let's Build. Our session today, of course, is expanded vision in the nature of your sensitivity to that which is going on around you, and more importantly, what is going on within you as creator source here within this hologram. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your presence and all that is unfolding on your services and holding the light here on planet Earth. Big up to Todd Medina out there in LA. Big up to Luke Star out there in Vegas. I know Todd get it popping. He was just in New York. Get money, Todd. Yes, of course. As a disclaimer, once again, those of you that are here via free will. As with anything, it is your free will choice to be here, where those who are wise only invest their energy into that which they resonate with. Those who invest energy into things they do not resonate with are expressing a level of ignorance. If I don't resonate with something, I don't give any attention to it. I don't watch things that I don't enjoy, because I have the free will decision to choose that which I'm investing my energy into. So if you don't want to be here, as someone else put it, exit stage left. We appreciate all souls for being here. We appreciate your presence and the visibility that we have. We're not denying anyone access to that which is being shared. However, this channel remains a collective intending on sharing a harmonious space of communication and connection based on free will. So this is the nature of our community here, and I just want to make that known for anyone displeased with what they're viewing. So thank you so very much for attending. And yes, now it is time for our in-house discussion live at the Ra on the nature of expanded vision. As you see, we have the guy Amun Ra here. We have AAA here, overseas here. And we got the multi-talented melanin queen, hashtag Black Excellence, hashtag Martin Luther King Jr., hashtag like all this black stuff. Like Richard hashtag so much black stuff. Like pro black. I'm like, bro, what's going on? Like, I'm gonna back this table up so everybody can see what's going on and who here, and we're gonna have a grand discussion.
La vista.
Vista.
Yo.
So
Talk,
what's good?
talk,
What's good?
talk.
Let's talk. What's
What's up,
good,
Todd? Peace. Todd in the house.
man? Let's talk,
I
man.
know
Let's
he
get
been in
off
the
of
house.
this thing,
He
man.
called AAA out, so I have to say something.
Yeah, what's good? Let's talk.
Expanded vision.
Well, for anyone, I just posted it. The Ra is where we live. The Ra is a home. The Ra is not an organization. It's not a company.
You can't make it look bad.
I can't make it look bad because I sleep over there.
We pay rent.
We pay rent here. So the Ra is our home, basically.
If you trying to fund it,
What's the
let
rent?
a brother know.
What's the rent?
About 1,500 euros. You need to convert that.
Like about
on
17.
Google. That's about $1,700.
$1 a week right
Yeah, so you dig?
Take all currencies.
Anyway,
Take all currencies.
we talking about expanded vision, gentlemen. If y'all can put y'all devices
If you
down,
don't mind.
detach from the conversation going on, talk to us in house for a minute. That'd be great. Please, what's up? What we talking about? Expanded vision. Come on, somebody expand on that. How do you feel about
I don't know what to say about it.
it? Yeah.
Besides living it.
Okay.
I don't even know how to talk about it. Basically.
Okay.
Well, I mean, when you talk about expanded vision, I guess it's something that like a conscious, a higher way of thinking because something happened. Something happened in your life that
Subconscious.
right.
It's basically an awakening way of seeing things. When you awaken, you recognize that there are no mistakes and synchronicity is constant in your life. And when you see stuff, it's not random. There's nothing random that you see in your life because you're awakened, you're sensitive, you're wise enough to recognize that you're experiencing your creation as a creator.
Yeah.
You're God, meaning that all of this experience that you created beyond the illusion of space and time. However, you're in the illusion of space and time now. However, you're awakening to your creation. So you recognize that all this stuff you put together as a story.
Right.
It's just that now you're able to consciously work with the story and recognize that all of this stuff is happening on purpose. It's something that you created.
Right. And I mean, for me, I live that every day because we talk about it all the time. And I know that when something happens and someone, that one moment that you forget or you get sucked in, you can stop, look outside the box, and realize that another step is a mistake. This is stuff that you're creating every time you wake up. Like you said, every time you open those eyes, you're doing that. So,
But at the same time, sorry to cut you off.
yeah, no worries.
If you can't stop and look outside the box for that moment, because most of the time you don't. Most of the time you don't, especially when you're going through something, I would say even halfway dramatic. You see it for what it is at that moment. Now,
that depends on the
level. For us, is we probably would because we know what's going on. But two sides to it. Do we really know what's going on, or are we just making it an excuse to act like blah, 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 to give it an explanation for what's really going on, just so we can feel more comfort about it? Because this is what someone is that's not outside of the box is going to think. Am I just making up an excuse? Because this is the same thing churches can do.
What you mean, like an excuse to accept it?
Accept it, basically.
Well,
it's just like you would say. It's just like you would, when somebody dies and they're Christian or whatever, they say, "Well, this was because God. And now you're up there with God," and blah blah blah. It's an excuse without a real freaking answer. It's just something that makes us feel good about.
You talking about like an ability to accept it without physical evidence.
No, not even physical evidence. It's not even really about physical evidence. Like I said, outside of us, how can someone try to understand and grasp this concept without it just seeming like you just making up an excuse for what's going on in your life?
Well, it ain't necessarily for people who outside of that level of awareness.
No, it's not.
Because they're not gonna resonate with it. They're not ready for it.
if they're not ready for it. But at some point, we wasn't ready for it too. But it did.
But that means exactly like you said, it can. But the thing is, it's not our job to make it come to them.
No. I'm not saying that. How do they recognize this? How can they, like you say, if something
they have to experience life.
If something is going on, they can say, all right, let me pull myself back and really see what's actually going on.
They have to experience more life.
Recognize that, and how can you
recognize
it? Do you want to recognize that? It's just like wanting to pull yourself the matrix thing.
They have to want to recognize it. And the thing is there is no how to, because that's large. Like at the end of the day, life is going to do that for you, just like life.
No, I'm talking about how to pull yourself back. Because I mean, even our situation, all of us here sitting on this couch for a reason. And it came to a point last year or the year before in our lives, we was probably like, damn, what's going on? Like, really? You had situations. I had situations. I don't know what you had. You had stuff. And it was like, you know, what's going on? But now we can, a year later, we can finally look back and grasp like, all right, this is probably why this happened. Because you wasn't talking like this.
Hindsight 2020, of course. But like when you're experiencing the experience itself, the wisest thing you can do is accept it. It's just that, of course, the more mature you are, you have the ability to step back and accept it for what it is and know that it has a purpose.
That maturity, I would say, comes with
experience.
Only experience, and basically that experience includes gradually building on yourself and really, as me and Angel was talking to Hannah about, breaking yourself down to the basic bone of what you thought life was really about.
Well, the thing is like breaking yourself. That's harsh.
It's harsh, but you really have to take all that.
I get it. What I'm saying is, it's about accepting your experience and cultivating your intention. If you want to experience a deeper level of self from a more spiritually mature space of being, you embrace that intent and allow life to show it to you versus attempting to force, break yourself down.
I reword it. It's not like breaking it down, but basically accepting who you really are as opposed to what you've been going through. To me, that's like a breakdown, like the build or destroy.
Most definitely.
Before you can build up this new building, you got to break that old building down and get that foundation.
And the thing is, the way I see expanded vision when we talk about it, the way I understand it, is it's a sense of knowing already, right? So, when and I'm not talking about like being able to explain it like logically, but like even when you're young, you know something that you just can't explain it. You just know that there's something more than just this physical plane. So, because there is a time, I don't know if everybody experienced, but there is more to life than just this, what you see. And as you get older and get experience, you're able to more to articulate it or kind of pinpoint what it is. But once
is that another excuse that we give us?
Well, no, this is how you know. I mean, this is how I know. But once you are able to look, like the way I say, look outside the box and say, this is me creating. This is a reflection of me. I'm able to let go. Things are not as difficult and not as serious as it used to be. I cherish more the things that I used to be afraid of. I cherish the things that I know that is good for me. So my life becomes even easier. You know what I mean?
Really accepting life, or
this is confirmation
to cope.
Well, I don't think it's coping, because coping to me is like, you're trying to make it.
You kind of like, okay, let me just fall back and let this stuff happen. I know it's going to be right. Is that really that direction, or is that like a coping mechanism?
Well, for me,
subconsciously.
Subconscious. The thing is once again, the wisest thing a person can do is accept their story.
Yeah, I think that's really the key, is accepting it, because you know why? Because once you accept it,
because the thing is
you're letting go.
Because intelligence is there already. It's just that we feel like we got to provide some type of logical explanation for things in order for us to be cool with it. It's like, no, bro, like you don't understand this while it's happening, and sometimes you might even not understand it after it happened already or before it happened. It's beyond your level of awareness. So, like I said, hindsight's 2020. You might not necessarily get the experience until a year later.
Right.
The reason why I bring this up is because I think once you get to, I ain't gonna say our level, but at a certain level, you're able to do what you do and just let it flow. But what does it take besides time and experience for you to realize, hey, let me just go through this right quick because I know this is purposeful
Accepting.
for me to be gone. How do people accept?
Okay.
No. Not how do we tell them how to accept? How do they?
That's what I'm saying. There is no
accept. What made you accept what you're doing right now? I can tell you what made me accept.
What made me accept what I'm doing is basically grounding myself and relaxing, like focusing on grounding myself every day where I can be present without having to explain myself. Like I gave myself the freedom to be myself and experience myself as it is. And the more I did that, the more I was able to accept the experience where all the pieces to the puzzle fell into place by me not bothering it.
But why did you choose to do that?
Because I was confident in myself and I wanted to see change.
Well, and I think also what has a lot to do with it is knowledge.
Yeah, of course, you want to see change.
How do you know doing that was going to bring forth change?
You trust yourself.
It's I don't know.
You trust intelligence.
It's a conversation you have within yourself. And then to me, the confirmation is life. Like things start to, like he said, pieces of puzzles come together. Synchronicities, like the world will tell you, like the universe will tell you that you're on the right path in a way. And everybody has their own way to speak with the universe or communicate with what's going on. But when things happen this way, it's like you just know. It's not something you can explain. It's like love. How do you explain how you feel when you're in love with someone? There's no way you explain. You just know that's the way you feel. And that comes with maturity. That comes with time, and as you progress, some people ignore that. I feel like some people allow the noise to take over. But everybody has their own evolution, and we can't impose our values or our experience because everybody might have a different way.
It's not
right.
Like that.
So
I'm just basically trying to.
Right. No. I understand what you're saying. You're trying to.
So whoever's watching.
Right.
And see, hey, let me think about this. Not let me listen to them, not let me do what they do. Just let me think about what I got going on in my life. Yeah. Because honestly, we do know a lot of people that have things going on. Even my mother is going through some things.
Right.
If they could realize what they're going through, why they're going through it, a lot of these worldly issues can probably be fixed. Mm-hmm. It's basically looking within in silence. And this is a good direction to get them for them to see this inside themselves instead of trying to fix all these other problems. Because I've been thinking about the conversations that we had last week with me going to these different places and helping people. I still want to do it, but at the same time, I'm basically giving people a fish.
Yeah,
like I said, there's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with serving.
No, I know. I'm just trying to see.
You know what I mean? Like,
how do we subconsciously teach them how to fish, or let them teach themselves how to fish?
Being an example.
That's it.
That is it.
You just gotta live.
Like, and
let me tell you something. My brother,
your being is just
right.
That is the most potent service you can provide by being the light of divine truth. Because at the end of the day, when you're being true to yourself, it's addictive. And it catch on real fast to people around you because they want to do the same thing. Some people like extremely scared and then get turned off by it. But some people like they gravitate towards it because you're so magnetic and filled with your own sense of being and love. It's like, I wish I could chill like that. I want to be that expressive and loving and so on and so forth too.
Right.
Because they realize that is within them already.
Right.
It's just, the thing is you give them the permission to do it.
Right. I've heard that so many times.
Right.
A lot of people do say this. What's stopping them?
What's stopping them?
Themselves.
Their own fear.
The story they tell themselves.
Their own fear. Their own fear of judgment and failure.
It's the other side. They recognize, hey, I want what y'all do. I want to do what y'all do.
If they already recognize that, then they're on the right path already. But
5 minutes later, I'm not going.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, the thing is
I'm not going to do it.
The seed of intentions take time to germinate.
Right.
Because they can say they want to do it, but that's just the seed of the intention.
Right.
It ain't going to happen the next second or the next week or the next day. But as they lay that intention, life is going to manifest things in order for them to make those decisions. Like, hey, look, do this. Hey, look, do that. You really want to hang out with these people. You really want to say this. You really want to say that. Life is going to do that. And it's going to keep giving it to them.
But they kind of already do that, though. That's the thing. They kind of already make these choices. It's just like if you go to work every day, that is a conscious choice to say, hey, I choose at 6 o'clock, I'm going to get up and I'm going to be at work at 8. Yeah. Why can't you say the same thing at blah, 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 I'm going to learn something to better myself, or I'm going to start feeling like this about myself.
Everybody.
There is no time when they go come around. You already make these thousands of choices. You already do it. It's so robotic on how we do things every day. We wake up at the same time, we brush our teeth, we take a shower, probably go use the bathroom, fix something that we like, get on the bus at the same time, go to work and do the same. We are already there, but when it comes to something of self, what is the blockage? You're already in the spirit.
I'm gonna say it a lot of times, and I don't know, because I feel like a blockage for everyone is different. I think that the main thing, though, the blockage
still there.
Yeah, but I think the main thing, if you want to like break it down, is I think it's fear, because it's easy to get up and do all this because that's what we've been programmed to do. This is what this is the way the system works. Of course, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna do this and this, or else I don't get paid. Something outside of that where you don't see direct rewards for, it's gonna be harder for somebody else because it's a fear, some type of courage that they have to overcome. Validation and confirmation. That's fearful for people. Yeah, but like I said, like there's nothing technically we can do except to live by example. And I a long time ago I stopped trying to explain, because you're excited. Oh, I have this new information. But when you do that, the people who's not ready to take it in might either push you back or think you're crazy or call you dumb or debunk. They just don't understand. They just don't understand this moment. For some people, we sound crazy as hell. You know what I mean? But that's not none of our business. I think that eventually, they'll have their own evolution and they'll get there when the time comes.
Well, that's always their free will choice. That's
always their free will choice. And like my brother, man, he'll send me all kinds of messages asking about questions to the point that I can't answer them anymore. Because there's some questions you can't answer. They have to answer on their own. Like there's their own mission, their own experience is what's going to get them to where they want to be. Well, right? And you could do your best to try to explain, but sometimes what they want, dissect something. And this kind of stuff that we talk about isn't something you can dissect per se, you know what I mean? Like,
it's not a explanation.
That's where experience comes in.
That's where experience just
know. Because I can sit here and give you word by word direction on how to be a fisherman, right? And say, hey, this is how you be a fisherman. Read it. Are you a fisherman now? No. Doesn't mean because now you know all the answers of what and directions to do it. It's not until you actually fish and actually have the experience that you deserve to be called a fisherman. So a lot of people can talk, but it doesn't mean that they deserve to be who they are in that position right now because they haven't gone through the experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
they haven't experienced themselves.
Right. And so when you're a fisherman, you just know how to do it. Sometimes you might not even know how to explain it. Some people know how to do it, but I know how to explain it. They just know. So I think life, things that happen to you, and everybody's different. I can't say that, you can't say this is one formula how it's supposed to be. We're intricate human beings. We're instrument beings. We're different energy. So all we can do is just, hey, live by example. This is what it is, and try our best to explain. But I don't think you can really, because I could say one thing and somebody might understand it a different way than you would. You know what I mean?
What do you mean by example?
What I mean is, if for like you
yourself,
said, you be yourself, but
yourself.
Exactly.
Let's say be yourself. Don't say example, because when you say example, that means you have something that you're going by that you kind of want somebody to go by.
Well, no, I mean, it's still an example.
It's an example. Like you go by your heart. You
Because,
go by your heart, which is an example for all people to do. Go by your heart.
Yeah, because if they're attracted,
like you said, some people have other intentions.
Well, regardless of their intentions, if their intentions are distorted, they gonna get
look,
it.
everybody's an example.
You say go by example. I'm gonna be a good thief, for example.
Yeah, well,
if that's what they want, if that's their intention, if that's their intention,
yeah, I'm in the roster.
Hey,
you already have the
if I want to be a Yeah, if I want to be a professional thief,
opposed to just
right.
being robbed. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Rob for the hood now.
if I want to be a professional thief, yeah, then I'll look at you for example. I'll be like, yo, how you do that? You know? Like, show me.
It's always on the tracks.
No, you know.
Track what you got in
So
your pocket.
so when we look at when we say expanded vision, sometimes it might sound conceited, like, oh, we know more than you do. But it really is a sense that there is. I'm sorry, but like there's people that might be around me that I feel like don't see what I see. So it is another expanded vision. It is. I mean,
of course, everybody's at a different level of
consciousness.
Just in general, like all people are at a different level of consciousness. That's just a fact.
Yeah, but now
the thing is when you get into comparison, then you see it from a place of separation, which causes you to feel a particular way about you seeing things that other people don't see. I don't see other people seeing things that I don't see, or vice versa, as being something wrong. It's just basically where I'm at vibrationally and where they are vibrational. They're experiencing the story exactly how they're supposed to experience it, even if we at the same age or we have the same projections or whatever. I'm experiencing my story and they're experiencing their story. However, the story is created by the same author.
Right, it is
me.
Because we are all reflections. Exactly. That's absolutely right.
No doubt. So, you know what I mean? Like, yo, where's the problem?
Mm-hmm.
There's no problem whatsoever. I mean, you know, in divine truth, it's like, yo, it's just peace. Like, yo, you experiencing yours, I'm experiencing mine. No race, no competition. We gonna get to where we need to get to when we get there. Mm-hmm. But this is the experience I'm choosing right now for my, you know, for my spiritual journey on the conscious level. But you know, everybody ain't gonna be there.
Yeah, and I mean, every day, you know. It ain't easy, but every day I get up, I know that I'm creating everything. As much as I don't want to admit it, if something happening that's against something something I don't want to happen, I know that somehow this is all happening, you know, and it's not by mistake. It's all in divine order, and this helps me. You know what I mean? I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't have to try to explain it. This works for me. This is truth to me. And every day is a validation. Every time there's a synchronicity. Every time somebody comes up to me and says, hey, you know, there's something about you and I kind of want to know more about this. This is all validation, right? This is that we're in the right track. And then the more I do research and, you know, the puzzles come together. You're like, you just know. I'm not going to explain to you how I know. I just know, you know. And when we talk about so many topics, like how you can't just sit in an hour or 2 hours to explain this whole thing we talk about. Like, because once we explain one thing, it's going to create another rabbit hole to another one, another rabbit to another one. And then, you know, there's no way you can explain this whole concept to somebody. And all of us are, we still learning. It's not like we know, we're all knowing. And I'll give it to AZ. I feel like AZ is more sensitive to this, honestly, like personally. You know, I think that AZ is a little bit more sensitive to it because when he speaks, and I think this is his superpower. He can communicate and articulate what I'm feeling. Like, damn, why couldn't I have said it that way? Like, fuck. But yeah. You know,
that's how he tries. This straightforward.
I feel like
he gonna tell you something like because he got all these rings on, man. You know, he gonna tell you sweet way. I ain't gonna say that.
But I do feel though that there is a level of connection.
I explained it.
I've been brainwashed.
You just called him a woman, bro.
Yeah, I ain't a woman.
Woman way.
Man, pink toe.
Yeah, no doubt.
You heard me.
Debunk.
Wait, that's
around the rock. 2 steps around the rock.
In a circle. I'm explaining it in the woman way. That's how the God Amurai started.
Amurai said, explain like a man.
Somebody posted today, feminism was dead.
What?
Feminism was dead. No, masculinism.
Is dead?
Oh, okay.
I don't know, man. I don't know about
That's
that.
why I kind of brought this.
Oh, okay, got you, man.
I can see how
masculinism.
Masculinity. Masculinity. See, it is dog. I guess it is dog.
Somebody played the game. Masculinity was dead.
Maybe history is gone. It's all about her story, right? Maybe it's more about feminine energy now, right?
Masculinity is dead.
That's what happened. That's what happened. That's probably why I'm having a communication problem.
That's commendable.
Because I'm still on my masculinity.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Still on masculinity.
It's all good.
I'm going to details.
Yes, you know what I mean?
It's all good.
What's up, C? Say something, bro.
For me to like expanding vision, I ain't gonna speak on like my take on expanding vision per se, like trying to decipher it. But for me, right here, what we're doing, this form of a community in a spiritual sense coming together and talking about certain topics, for me, that's expanding vision. Like we do this every week. We have it on YouTube. We've been doing this for over a year now. But that in itself for me is expanded vision, because even so, if you don't understand certain things that's going on, maybe some of the spiritual topics we got, maybe some of the things that we speak about as far as from a sense of our awareness level, you're able to still be a part of the community and get to see what we're talking about and participate. And then when you do that, your vision expands in itself alone from how you view it.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that right here, what we're doing is expanding vision. You can call this building expanding vision form. I mean, basically that's what we're doing like all the time. But as far as like as far as me gonna see it in the way of Amon, or see it in the way of AZ, or see it in the way of AAA, like I'm not gonna see everything in the way that they do, because they're on a different frequency level, but I can accept the fact that they know what's true to them, and I know what's true to myself, and that's what makes it like a harmonious synchronicity.
With our powers combined,
yes,
that's what it is about, man. That's the beauty of it.
We end up reaching the same level. Just we're taking different paths to get there as far as spiritual maturity goes, and everything.
And it's all about acceptance, because I'll accept where anybody has other feelings and thoughts and energy, because that's what your reality is. But
excuse me. What's up? Well, it is what it is. Another cool consensus from everybody. CeeLo, you want to go ahead and put up another track? Hold it down, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was a excellent discussion. Here we're live at the Rob, and right now we're going to take a small break for our musical selection from our maestro overseas, and then we'll come back and we'll address any inquiries that you may have in our comment section, and keep it moving. So thank you so very much for being here. Always a pleasure to connect here at our Let's Build.
Oh, great. You rolling yet? Okay, so this track right here is called Really Last, produced by Pro Banks. It's a classic. It's on the Universal Brothers page, and I'm gonna go ahead and get to playing it, and I'll share the link in the comment section shortly thereafter. Thank y'all for staying tuned. We love each and every one of y'all. We'll be back shortly.
Chill. We'll pick up the kid for banks for this. Okay. Gonna go laughing. Shit. Chill. Shout, look, faster than bumper time. What's why we never is, Mother Nature show the kids that the changes never end. We still getting big, blowing candles, doing tricks throughout the day. In the mix with all the colors and the shapes. Holographic expediting, made just to end up where we came in the first place. Wild rusted joy we made, let it rock on, smooth like a parade. Multicolor marching band on the floor, waving hands. Open your heart for the fans and the stands and take strength. They trust the plan. Wings outlast the maintenance of a plane. Slide through, energetic, silky snake. Heavily stacks, full banks, ETs, overseas. From other galaxies. Yo, shampoo. Oh, yo, like it ain't nothing to do. Remember the last, yo, you, yeah, steady, yeah, class grips getting stuck, ritual, even in the hood, mechanical, silver state, butter woman, bread basket, use that to change my oil with the fresh gasket. Silver deal is still pay the wrong bill. Only temporary pain when you know it's been a game, the whole game. That's the rock like a real ill rugby team. We all lead when you ball in a big league. A metaphor, self, responsibility. Be the piece you want to see for infinity. Eternally, yo, too guilty. Nothing really lasts. How it lasts, yo. This moment. Yeah, you remember the last. You got full bands.
Fly technique. Love. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Let's Build live at the Rob. It is 10 p.m. Central European time here in Wiesbaden, Germany. A lovely place to be, shining the light of divine truth, of course, from a space of balance. And yes, we have just ended our live discussion portion, and now it is time for us to address any inquiries in our comment section. So we are going there. We encourage all of you to repost any questions that you may have had earlier in our session, being that, of course, our feed does not allow us to go back to the top to see some of the early inquiries. So if you do have inquiries or stories that you would like to share with the collective, we can address them at this time in our comment section. So once again, we do encourage you to post your inquiries there once again. Anyways, let's see what we have here so far. So Catherine Barnes, hello. I noticed a couple times before that you did inquire about the music on our SoundCloud page, or where you could find the music. It is on our YouTube page under UBC Music. That is a chant or a division or vision playlist on our YouTube page. However, of course, the SoundCloud.com/Universal Brothers or /Basement Politics for some of our most recent selections. All the music is available there. As far as the beats are concerned, we have various platforms of independent producers that provide our beats for us. We have a couple of in-house producers, but this is not necessarily the handsome sum of our productions. For the most part, I select beats on a daily basis fitting for that particular energy of that day, and we create. So that is where we get our beats from. So let's see. Valerie saying it's a collective buffet.
What?
That's funny. She asked me how I wipe my nose with the nose ring. Oh man,
That's why his nose ring is shiny.
Gently, Silva, gently. You don't want to pull nothing out. That wouldn't be too delightful. Yeah, right. Let's see. Yeah, right. Merrily.
Yeah, I can't see what else I got.
Pam had a question.
Okay, what's the question?
When it has a purpose, is it wise to follow it?
When it has a purpose, is it wise to follow it?
Meaning, I guess, whatever, like the direction that she's going, or what I would say that.
If the purpose is in alignment with that which you intend to experience and create and project in life in general, yes, of course, follow it. If it's in alignment with that which you embrace and you feel is in alignment with what you'd like to be a part of, regardless of the purpose, it's necessary for you to embrace it. However, this depends on where you are, and if you resonate with the purpose at hand, this is where you take your direction. If you basically, if it makes you excited, and it's an aspect of your joy and your ability to create and express, yes, embrace what is that you're experiencing. So
We got another one.
what you got?
This one go, man. I gotta get this one out for you.
What is that?
It's about to leave my screen.
Yep.
Which one for lacrosse?
So Tammy.
Oh,
Peace, Tammy. Tammy Hancock. Everyone teaches hate, tough love, but love at the right time is supposed to flow.
Love at the right time is supposed to flow.
That's what she. Well, that was a statement more than a question.
Yeah, it was a statement. Really understood.
okay.
Yeah. Well, once again, the love is the fabric of existence itself. There's never anything that is not love. It's just your ability to embrace the love that is being expressed in the present moment. It's always love, based on your level of wisdom to see that it is love. However, this is what expanded wisdom or expanded vision is about. Your ability to recognize that there is nothing but love. It's just comes in many frequency forms that is necessary for us to embrace as we experience ourselves and who we are as love itself. So,
Is that Sue? What was that?
is that that's Lucy.
Lucy, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Anyway, she got some.
Yeah, what you got, Lucy?
Are actual visions of seeing events that haven't taken place but do happen in future timelines intuitive knowings, or have we jumped timeline dimensions, so to speak?
And both, to be completely honest with you. There are experiences within dream state that you may experience flashes of future timelines, and of course there are in the experience itself may be reflective of what's necessary for you to realize in this particular frame of time in this now moment about what you may consider to be a future event. However, it's all there, it's all here rather right now.
Mm-hmm. I like what Stephanie said. She said, our expanded vision is everything we are feeling and doing now. Actually, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that's happening now.
Absolutely.
It's
always now. There's the only reality there ever is right now. That is it.
I got one.
Yo.
Valerie Ames. What's up, Valerie? Realizing that judgment is part of our 3D programming. How do we become more self-aware in this expression of our will to truly take our own measure?
Take our own measure.
Yeah.
When we say measure, I'm assuming you're talking about measure of our frequency status or the level of judgment that we're expressing, or yeah, we need necessary to clarify that.
Yeah.
Valerie, thank you very much for sharing. However, I don't want to say that judgment is an absolute part of our 3D experience. It is something that comes with what is normal within the construct of the program, but is not necessarily normal or something that comes with the territory, if you will. It is our choice to entertain such judgments. Yeah, we can or we'll experience judgments from those within the program that may feel a sense of separation or judgment or neglect or jealousy amongst our frequency of being that may express, but it is our choice to entertain these frequencies. They're available for us to entertain, but it's our choice to entertain them or not. And the more mature you are, the less you choose to entertain such self-destructive frequencies of being.
They said they're experiencing problems.
Down the loop.
Yeah.
Once again?
A lot of people are experiencing a loop from the feed, but I think
Only didn't hear
they're
what you
coming
said
out.
about it broke up or
I think they're coming out.
turn
Coming
it
back in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably
They're in a loop. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully it's still on.
Yeah, you're good. On your feed it's good, but I think from the transmission going through to other people,
Oh, okay.
you probably got to come out and come back in.
Marissa said you can turn it into a beat.
Like mine's frozen too, look, see?
Oh, okay.
But it's still working as far as the feed is.
And mine's fine.
Yeah. So.
Broadcast
we just
interrupted.
heard. We got amazing Stephanie online. Now you got to be part of the program.
What's up, Steph?
Hey, Steph.
Hey, Steph. Amazing.
So what else we got, bro?
No questions coming. I think everybody's trying to come out and go back in.
Oh, okay.
The feed. So let me see. You got anything?
I don't have anything.
No.
Props to Stephanie though on the website.
Yeah, props, Steph, for hooking up the website. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, word.
Yep.
Thank you.
No swag. We really appreciate you.
Appreciate us.
All in divine timing as always, right? No, it's not there.
I thought it was the same one. My bad. I got 1%.
Hey, mine's over there.
Oh yeah, I'll just leave it over there.
No questions coming on the feed unless you see on yours.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything from up top?
No, and as high as I can go. So seeing, okay, let's see. Realizing that judgment is
Thank you for tuning in, whatever.
Cole King. Hello. Let's see. Loop. Dizzy. I did. Weird. Yes. Cross. Yeah. Wow.
Marissa said she could turn into a beat.
Stop. Let's see. Okay, so she said it totally didn't hear what I said. All right, so 1 second, Lucy. Yeah, what I was saying was you could see flashes of what you may term future events as indications or codes for you to translate in this now moment. But of course, when you do say the term future, it's necessary to recognize that what you consider the future is always now. The future and the past are illusions. There's only now, happening now, and being the only true reality. That which you know to be the future, of course, is also taking place in this now moment amongst the time continuum. Past lives, future lives, all taking place in the nature of this now moment, where now is eternal in nature.
But as long as this is still alive, it's okay to be a really getting a beat. It's not a year of computers going around there and sending nothing out.
They ain't sending nothing out?
Well, that's what
My shit is still loading. It's still loading.
Yeah.
Now it's down now. People are leaving.
Yeah, that's because people are coming
In and out.
You want to do a part 2?
Yeah, I'll do a part 2, no problem.
All right, we'll be right back.